Alright, this is your review for Part B of your test tomorrow. Please work through the review sheet before watching this video so that this can just be a tool to check your answers and not you just copying answers down. I'm going to walk step by step through each of these and hopefully answer questions that you have as you're working through this. So the first one, I need to find the output for each input. My inputs are given over here. My input is my x value. So as I'm plugging this in over here, I'm going to plug in x, the -1 for x, 0 for x, and 2 for x. And the way I show this work is by plugging them all in. 3 times 0 plus 4, and 3 times 2 plus 4. This is the problem where your integer rules must be remembered, okay? Please, please, please study over your integer rules tonight, especially addition and subtraction integer rules. So 3 times -1 is -3. -3 plus 4 is 1. And number 2, 3 times 0, 0. 0 plus 4 is 4. And 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. That's all for number 1. If it doesn't give you a graph, you do not need to graph it. Number 2, y equals 4x minus 3. 4 times -5 minus 3. 4 times -3 minus 3. And 4 times -1 minus 3. 4 times -5 is -20. -20 minus 3, remember, is the same thing as -20 plus a -3, which is -23. 4 times -3 is -12. -12 minus 3 is -15. Next one, 4 times -1 is -4. -4 minus 3 is -7. Next question, y equals x squared minus 1. All you're doing is plugging in these numbers for x. So I have -2 squared minus 1, 3 squared minus 1, and finally 5 squared minus 1. Oops. That parentheses should, or the squared should go outside of the parentheses. Alright, -2 squared is the same thing as -2 times -2. We know that's positive 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 squared is 9. 9 minus 1 is 8. 5 squared is 25. Minus 1 is 24. Number 4, make a function table and graph the resulting ordered pairs. Okay, so same process. Remember, I went over this in class. This is the same thing as y equals -1x plus 2. There is really a 1 written right there in between the negative and the x, and that was throwing a lot of you off in class. So just make sure when there's no number in front of x, you know there's really a 1. So this is -1 times -1 plus 2. This is -1 times 0 plus 2, -1 times 1 plus 2, and -1 times 2 plus 2. So my y's, -1 times -1 is 1, 1 plus 2 is 3, 0 plus 2 is 2, -1 plus 2 is 1, and -2 plus 2 is 2. So my order pairs is x, comma, y. -1, 3, 0, 2, 1, 1, and 2, 2. So I'm going to go over to my graph. I'm going to pretend that each of these is 1, even though it's not labeled. Oh, man. So my first one is -1, 3, 0, 2, 1, 1, and... Ooh, did I mess this up? No. 2, 2. Nope, I did mess it up. What'd I do? Hold on. Just kidding, this should be 0. Why is it 0? Because -1 times 2 is -2, and -2 plus 2 is 0. So this final point is 2, 0. How did I know I messed up? Well, because when I went to go plot this point, it wasn't going to make a line, and I knew this was a linear function. That's a great strategy when you are doing your test tomorrow. Number 5, y equals -2x plus 5. Y equals, eraser. y equals -2, -1 plus 5. I'm going to pause this, fill it out so I don't waste time. Hold on 1 second. All right, that was magic. Now I'm finding my y values. -2 times -1 is 2. 2 plus 5 is 7. 0 plus 5 is 5. -2 plus 5 is 3. And -4 plus 5 is 1. So my ordered pair is -1, 7, 0, 5, 1, 3, and 2, 1. I'm going to graph it. -1, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0, 5, 1, 3, and 2, 1. That doesn't look right. This should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. And we're going to just make a line. Number 6, I need to tell whether the sequence of y values is arithmetic or geometric. Remember, with arithmetic, we add or subtract. In geometric, we multiply. Okay, then find y when n is equal to 5. So right here, I notice right away that this is going to be multiplication because there's no way I can just add. So I know I need to multiply because this is not a sequence where I could add and it would work. So I need to figure out how to get from -2 to 8. And I know I need to multiply by -4. And multiply by -4 to get from 8 to -32. And multiply by -4. So this sequence is geometric. Okay, and to find the fifth term, I multiply 128 by -4. And I get 128 times -4. I get -512. All right, number 2. This one looks like it's going to be addition or subtraction because these numbers don't look like they're going in any sort of pattern. The easiest way I feel like to do this one is to look at the lowest numbers. How do we get from -5 to 6? Well, I know I need to add 11. -27 to 16, add 11. -16 to 5, add 11. So this is arithmetic. So I need to add 11 to this term, and 6 plus 11 makes y equal to 17. Number 8, this one is subtraction, and I find the two easiest terms that I can see right away, and I know I need to subtract 7 from each term. And to find the fifth term, I need to subtract 7, so -5 minus 7, remember, is the same thing as -5 plus a -7, which is -12. So this is an arithmetic sequence. Number 9, you need to write a function. I'm pretty sure I did this in everybody's class, but I'm going to do it again. And you need to make a table for every single one of these. That is not an option. That is a requirement. You must make a table or you'll mess them up. So n is 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's the position. You have your rule. And the y comes from the problem. In this case, it's 20, 40, 60, and 80. So you need to ask yourself how you get from 1 to 20, 2 to 40, 3 to 60, and you multiply n by 20. So this is 1 times 20, 2 times 20, 3 times 20, and 4 times 20. So your function is y equals 20 times n, or 20n. To find the 8th term, plug in 8 for n. And you have y equals 20 times 8, which is 160. Do not extend your table to go to 8. Okay, you could have on your test to find the 100th term, and you're not going to want to make a table that big. So use your function to find the term they're asking for. Number 10, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to make a table. N is 1, 2, 3, 4. Y is 3, 4, 5, and 6. How do we get from 1 to 3, and 2 to 4, and 3 to 5, and 4 to 6? I'm going to take n and add 2. So my function is y equals n plus 2. This should actually be 2, 3, 4. In my 8th term, if I plug in 8 for n, I get y equals 8 plus 2, which is 10. Number 11, this one's kind of tricky. The sequence is 1, 3, 5, and 7, and I need to find the function. So n is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Y is 1, 3, 5, and 7. And I need to figure out how I get from 1 to 1, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, and 4 to 7. So I know I need to multiply each of these by 2. If I multiply, oops, that should be a 1. No, I'm right. So if I multiply n times 2, that's 1 times 2, which is 2. And to get to 1, I need to subtract 1. This one, 2 times 2 minus 1 is 4 minus 1, which is 3. 3 times 2 minus 1, and 4 times 2 minus 1. So my function is y equals 2n minus 1. If I'm finding the 8th term, I'm going to plug 8 in for n and get y equals 2 times 8 minus 1, which is 15. Alright, to save time, I'm going to pause this, fill out the table, and when I press play, it will all be filled out. So give me just a second. Alright, so your y values should be -9, -5, -1, and 3. If you're getting funky things on y, check your integers. So now you need to graph your ordered pair. -2, -9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There. 0, -5. 2, -1, and 4, 3. Make sure you, whoa, what'd I do? There we go. Make sure you connect your dots, draw a line, and have an arrow at either end showing that the line continues on. 13, y equals -x plus 7. This is another one you guys were having issues with today because it just says -x. Remember, that's the same thing as y equals -1x plus 7. Okay? I'm going to pause it, fill in the table, and do the same thing. Your y values on this one should be 8, 7, 5, and 4. Check your integers if you're messing up, particularly on the -1 and 0 for the input value. Then you need to graph. Oh my gosh, I did it again. -1, -8, 1, 2, and then 0, 7, 2, 5. Oh man, I messed this up big time. You're all yelling at the screen right now. -1, 8 is actually up here. And then 0, 7, 2, 5, and 3, 4. Make sure you draw your line with your arrows on each side. And last problem, number 14. This is super, super, super tricky, but we're going to work through it. Your n values are the same, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Your y value is 24, 21, 18, and 15. And you need to find a rule. You also need to find the 5th position in this sequence. And you notice that each one is going down by 3. They're subtracting 3. So when n equals 5, y is equal to 15 minus 3, which is 12. Now you need to find a rule in this sequence. And just rest assured that I'm not going to ask you anything this tricky on the test. So you need to multiply your n by 3, and then you need to subtract. So if I have 3 times 1 is 3, and I need to get to 24, I need to, this is actually -3, so it's -3 times 1, because I had to subtract 3 here. I know I need to have a -3 in my rule. So then you have -3 times 1, which is -3, and to get to 24, I need to add 27 on the second one. So it's -3 times 2, which is -6. To get to 21, I need to add 27. And -3 times 3 is -9. To get to 18, I need to add 27. And the same thing for the last one. So my rule is y equals -3n plus 27. This was a two-part question. It was asking you for the function, and it was also asking you for the 5th term of the sequence. And, oh my gosh, I have 10 seconds left. Bonus question is, Ooh. Your bonus question is, who is your favorite teacher? Hint, the answer is me. Goodbye.